Hi, my name's Alan Orty and I've been asked by the National Measurement Office to do this short video giving you a brief introduction to some of the equipment that you'll come across when you're doing your medical weighing project work. It's probably something that you've never seen before, but all these are just different forms of Nowies from the type that you're used to. We've got equipment that can weigh a baby, as we have here. We've got wheelchair weighers, and we've even got a bed weigher. Now, the only practical difference that you're going to come across really is how to do the tests on some of the equipment. And so the idea of this video is just to give you some idea of what you'll come across and my suggestions for how you can go about testing them. Well, this is a baby weigher, and it's probably the most basic piece of equipment that you'll come across, and it is absolutely no different from any other Nowie that you've ever tested. Obviously, the baby's sat in there or laid in there, and the weight's read out on the readout. So it's simply a question of putting weights on and doing the normal tests as you would with any Nowie. You're probably familiar with this piece of equipment from your bathroom at home. It's a person weigher. Stand on it, check your weight. The only difference between the sort that you get at home and this one is it's got a built-in height chart. So someone can stand on the scale, lower the arm until it just rests on the top of the head, read off the height, and that then enables you to input the height and get your body mass index. What you do have to remember, of course, is that the height chart is not part of the Nowie, so you don't have the power to test it. I suggest that you ask the person who's using this piece of equipment if they would like you to just check the height chart and make sure that it's accurate. Apart from that, absolutely no different from any other type of Nowie again. You have a platform there. You should be able to get your weights fairly easily on the platform and do your normal test as you would on any other Nowie equipment. Well, as you can probably imagine, this is a chair weigher used for weighing people who really can't stand up. And the important thing to note about this is that there are footrests, and it's obviously important that whoever's being weighed has their weight on the footrest, otherwise you're going to get a false result. It is basically a scale with a chair put on top. You've got a nice big loading area there where you can put your test weights. The readout is at the back and gives you the same information as you would get with any scale, including, of course, on this one, body mass index. This piece of kit is used for weighing people in wheelchairs. Obviously, you would tear the wheelchair off first, put the patient in it, wheel them onto the platform and read out the weight. The good thing about this piece of equipment is that there's an absolutely enormous platform for you to distribute your test weights onto. So you should have absolutely no trouble testing this piece of equipment. This particular piece of equipment doesn't have a stand for the display, so it's just a case of holding it, or if you're doing something else, leave it on a nearby table, or even just pop it on the floor. And to test the weigh beams themselves, it's just a case of taking your platform, putting one beam adjacent to the front wheels, one beam adjacent to the back wheels, rolling the trolley onto the weigh beams, lock the trolley wheels, and then you've got a nice surface that you can put your test weights on and check the equipment. One thing you will need to be aware of is that the capacity of this bed weigher is 500 kilos. So you're going to need at least 500 kilos of test weights. You're also going to need a trolley, not just for rolling onto the bedwear, but also just for simply moving your weights around. Hopefully, these premises are going to be DDA compliant, so there shouldn't be too many steps. But that's something that really you should be checking out before you actually do your inspection visit. As with any NAWI, you've got the usual markings, the green M, the verification, and the various indications of the mass that it can weigh, E, and of course the class, which in this case is class 3. You're probably not going to be too familiar with these pieces of equipment, so I do strongly suggest that you look at the EC type approval certificate in each case. That will probably mean 2 visits to the premise. First of all, to find out what is there, and secondly, so you can return and do the actual test armed with the type approval certificate. Obviously, it's important that whoever's using the equipment knows how to go about doing it the right way. And each piece of kit will have an instruction manual with it. I suggest that you check that the users of the equipment all have copies of the instruction manual and that they're familiar with the operation, the correct operation of the equipment that they're using. The equipment that we've been using here today is supplied by Marsden. And I'd like to say thank you to them on behalf of NMO for supplying the equipment for us to use to make this short video. Obviously, there are other manufacturers of medical weighing equipment, and you are likely to come across different manufacturers, but all of the stuff that you're likely to see is going to be very similar to the stuff that we've been showing you this morning.